How's everything going?
Well, made it through New Year's Eve.
There you go. The battles of celebrations, huh?
Well, actually, for the last 15 years, I get up early. Actually, I look at midnight to see what the expireds are. And I get
Hmm.
up early and I already have a packet together and I already have
Okay.
handwritten notes in place and I just have to add their name. And I try to find their phone number. If I can, I deliver the packets.
Nice.
Unfortunately, there were only eight
Okay.
on New Year's Day. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Not a bad idea. Early bird gets the worm.
Yeah, I usually get one listing out of it.
Nice.
What did you do?
Um, we usually just stay at home, but this year we went to the bowling alley and celebrated New York's New Year's Eve. So they had
Oh,
like a
fun.
package for 3 hours bowl. So my basically all my kids came and we bowled and celebrated New Year's at 9, and then came home and my kids are really into Stranger Things, so they watched the season finale of Stranger Things, which took
Uh,
us right to midnight our time. We have a tradition that go out and bang pots and pans at 12 o'clock around the neighborhood, and then we fall asleep.
it's a good tradition.
Yeah. So we'll give it a couple minutes, but how'd the year go end up going for you, all in all?
Um, I was up 5%
Oh, nice.
over, 2004, 2024.
Okay. That's
I
a
would
great
have
thing.
liked to, yeah, at least it was up. I would have liked that number to be higher, but I'm just starting to develop these partnerships and, I'm hoping they'll come to fruition this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way I look at it is usually good relationships, good partnerships take 12 to 18 months to really start popping. But last year, I mean, 2025 was a down year anyways. So to have a year that's better than 2024, I think that's like a double good thing. Because it was not a lot of people did that. And they said like over 60,000 agents left in the last quarter of 2025.
Good.
Yeah, so I think we're going to have a big purge that happens. I think people are going to try to hold on, but you know, um, I really believe, I mean, it's just my beliefs. I believe that the agents that are the big major agent teams, they're embracing AI, they're embracing the Zillows, and they're going to keep gaining market share. But the ones that are focused on relationships and partnerships are going to actually be the ones that outlast whatever happens this next
Right.
5 to 10 years. So I'm doubling down on my relationships and going, not that I'm totally ignoring or trying to do away with AI, but I'm definitely not using AI for replacing myself in videos, and not using AI to have them talk to my clients like our broker just launched our own AI so we can have our A talk to our clients. I'm like, no, I don't want anything to come in between me and my clients, like
Right.
nothing. So, um, yeah, I have a hard enough time just like I have my team where I have a client care coordinator which updates my clients every Monday and Friday during the transaction. Um, and I've had complaints about it that they want to talk to me, and I'm like,
Mm.
wait a second, I've told you from the beginning you can always talk to me. You just need to call me. I call you on the important milestones of the event, but I can't, there's no way I can update 30 people every Monday and Friday. There's just no way. But if I had an AI doing that, it'd be over with. Um, Good morning, Barbara. How's it going?
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And how did
Happy
your
New
year go overall?
It was average. It was average. Although towards the end, I did get two listings from partners, two referrals.
Nice.
So that's working.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
great.
yeah. But
And what
overall,
kind
I
of
think it
partners
was
were they?
average. What's that?
What kind of partners were they?
One is she's with a placement, and the other is a move manager. So
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll just get started. They can catch up if more people join. Really today, because I know everyone does their business planning and it's getting ready for 2026. And so one thing that I really want to hit on is because obviously we have to prospect, we have to cultivate, we have to prospect, we have to have our pillars in order to be successful and have those blueprints out. And I think a lot of times people, we agents, we get taught to do certain things and we do them because that's what we're taught. And I really believe, especially, building a life by design, we should build our business by design. And I think that we really look at where our business came from, which transactions did we enjoy, and which type of prospecting did we enjoy. So I always go into like, as far as prospecting going, what do you love to do? So if I was to ask, we'll start with Lori. Lori, if I was to ask you, what do you love to do when when it's just considered prospecting? Like, what are you like, hey, I got to go prospect today. Yay, gets you excited.
I love doing FISBOs and I like doing expireds and cancels.
So you like cold calling.
Yes,
Okay. And so FISBA kinds of expired. And right now you basically are you getting them from Zillow or like RedX, a company like
uh,
that?
the
Yeah,
FISBOs from Zillow.
Zillow. Okay. Perfect. Have you ever checked out like FISBA owners or for sale by owners.com, like all those websites?
Yeah, I have.
They're not as good.
No,
Okay. Perfect. And then your expireds and cancels, do you get them from the MLS?
correct.
And then do you use like a company like Intellius to get their phone numbers and emails?
I use White Pages Premium.
Okay. Do you
Is
have
that
one of
one
your ones that
better?
you I don't know where I'm gonna go check right now. We'll just do this live. Because you said you had a couple and you weren't sure that you were gonna be able to get all their numbers. Um
You want me
I'm
to
that's
grab
not
it?
Yeah, grab it real quick. I'm gonna try to
Grab a
remember
pen?
my password. And it's gonna take me a little bit because I forgot my password. Uh which usually happens.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll just give me 1 second. I forgot my
Oh,
password into
that's
this
okay.
program because it's I still got holiday season brain fog and I'm going through a parasite cleanse right now, which makes me even more brain foggy. It's crazy. I feel like I got ran over by a truck.
Mm.
Oh, so it sounds real healthy then.
It's all organic. It's like blueberries and pineapple and papaya seeds and pumpkin seeds. But I mean it really does feel like you get run over by a truck for the first couple days because when the parasites die, they release a chemical and a bunch of eggs, which also releases chemicals. Um, and so you feel like your body is, and they go through like they're dying, so they latch on and they try to do whatever they can to survive. It's crazy. Um,
What parasites does everybody have these or
e- everybody has parasites in them. Not everybody gets infested with them.
mm,
Um, so um, I just
wow,
switched it. I did it.
that's scary.
Oh, no, wait. Um, yeah, so like like had a huge health issue scare this past year. And so I learned that it wasn't cancer. It was actually parasites that had overtaken my body. And I
Oh,
had stomach issues my whole life. I had addictions to candy and sugar my whole life. And I did the cleanse for, it was about a month, and I stopped having stomach problems completely. And I mean, I had stomach IBS my whole entire life.
Wow.
I was like no addiction to candy. I mean, I'd have to wake up and have candy. That's how bad it got for me. Um, and I did not have to do that anymore. All right, let me
wow.
try this one more time. Green. Let me do this. Okay.
I'm gonna step out and get a pen.
Okay. I'm gonna do this one more time because I thought I used my go-to password, and apparently I did not. Apparently I so I use this there we go. Okay. So I use this Intellius, and I've used it for years and years. It's pretty good, and it's also pretty scary because not only can you find out all their last known addresses, potentially any properties they still own, emails, phone numbers. You can get all their relatives' names and phone numbers, all their businesses they've ever worked at, any type of license they have. I mean, it gets a full thing, and it's 19 bucks a month. All right,
Wow.
so you can give me the address first. Is that because that's probably how you get them, or do you get the person's name?
I I go to the tax records and I get their name.
Okay, so we could give me their first name.
Chad, Chad.
Okay, last name.
Okay, it's not an easy one. D is
Okay.
in David, E is in elephant, S is in Sam, J is in Joe, A is in Apple, R is in Raymond, D is in David, I is
Sorry,
in
I'm a
Indian,
little dyslexic. I was following. I got DESJA.
R,
Okay.
Din, S is in Sam.
All right. And what city?
Rochester, Minnesota.
Manchester and
I have a client
Minnesota.
that's Desjardins. That's
Really?
funny. Yeah, she's from Canada.
Well, you wonder
So
if they're related with a name like that.
he's 50 years old. So I'll share my screen. Okay. So he's 50 years old, David Allen Desjardins. And to make sure we're on the right person, is one of those his address?
Yes, 5274 Southwood Drive.
So we have the right person. So
Yes.
now we have, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven phone numbers to eight, nine phone numbers to go through. So, you don't know which one, but usually the first one is usually the right one. But sometimes I've called and had to go through a bunch of them. So you have all the phone numbers. Um, you have all these are all possible
Relatives.
associates. You have here's his relatives. So in case someone passed away, you can get their relatives. So this is kind of good for probates as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you can go down here. It'll show if he's had any criminal records or traffic records. That says who the sex offenders are near the property. If he has social profiles, they'll be on here. If he owns a business, so that could be something to talk about. He has a license. He's a truck owner. I mean, and it's
Wow.
literally unlimited. I can do unlimited searches for 19 a month.
And it's called IN.
TELIUS.com.
Yeah, White Pages Premium. It gives you the majority of that information. but it doesn't have the employer.
Okay.
Um, I have to pay extra if I want some of that other information about, background checks sort of things. Has the relatives, but I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it
Yeah.
between White Pages Premium.
And I always tell everybody whenever I sign up for a site, I don't use my personal email and my business email. I have a separate email that I sign up for sites like that just in case they spam you or there's some kind of something. It's completely separate outside of my personal email and business email. So so that one's on a like a junk email that I had. Um so okay, so you love to do FISBOs and cancels and expires. And is that one of your main pillars?
Yes.
Okay. Now, outside of that, what do you like to do?
Um, I like to network with other senior providers.
Okay. Network. So then you go to senior networking groups.
I do. There's
Okay.
only one, but I go to that.
Okay. Have you ever thought about starting your own?
I haven't.
Because if there's like in my area, there's like eight or nine, there might even be more. So I started my own. It went for a little bit, but it was like, okay, I'm fighting, trying to get people there rather than just join the other ones. But if there's only one in your area, I would start a senior networking group. And I would probably start with my own like board of directors, my own professionals that I
Mhm.
have and say, hey, we're going to start a networking meeting, but we're going to do business development. So there'll be a half an hour of this networking group that's business development because we get a lot of things that most agents or most business owners don't. So I
Mhm.
would bring that into the realm. And then you're as far as another pillar, what are you good at? Like you're obviously good, you're a good closer because you wouldn't do physicals. You wouldn't love to do physicals, cancels, and expires if you weren't a good closer.
They're challenging. That's why I like them.
Okay. Um, I mean, in a nutshell, what I would do is I would build my pillars around what I love to do. So you love to do physicals, cancels, expires, which means you like to do cold calling. I might add in there, like when you do get an expired listing, maybe circle prospect as well. Hey, there was a seller that recently in your neighborhood, they weren't able to sell, so they came off the market, and I was just wondering because we have some more buyers in this area that we're looking. Do you know anyone else that might be thinking about selling? And it might draw in a couple more people because generally, at least the rule of thumb is when someone lists a property within a 6 month period, 4 to 6 people are behind them. And I think that's just like normal, like stats, 4 to 7% of neighborhoods change over. So if you have someone that's selling, then you know naturally in that neighborhood, there's going to be more that come. Um, so that would be kind of what I would do. Barbara, oh hi Amy, how's it going? What do you love to do?
Um, well, I go to a lot of networking groups, senior and just in general. I belong
And
to a
you
woman's
love networking groups?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I get a lot out of it. Like and then social media. Um, I've been getting more and more involved in doing videos, YouTube and, trying to get that off the ground. And really a lot of my business referrals. So that's really it. I'm not a caller. I'm more of a social, you know, um, one to one. Yeah.
And do you have like a core group of people that like past clients, your friends, family that you call to have those one-on-ones with to get referrals?
I actually just call them to kind of contact them. I haven't really ever said, "Hey, do you know anybody?" I haven't asked. I haven't asked.
So, so this is the one, this is, I call it my best script ever. I ask it to almost every single person I run into.
Hmm.
But if you're in my core, you probably hear this a couple times, and then there's a whole strategy behind it. But If you ever knew someone, Barbara, if you ever knew somebody, I mean, like ever, that was going to buy, sell, or invest into real estate somewhere in California, do you know a great agent that you'd refer them to?
Right. No, I don't. Well,
No,
you.
you don't. Okay. They can't answer this the wrong way. And I'll show
Right.
you why. So, no, they don't. Oh, I would love to be that a great agent. What do I need to do to make you feel confident in my confidence that you'd actually introduce me to one of your friends or family? And now they're going to tell you what you need to do. And then all you
Mhm.
need to do is stay in the flow with them. If they say, yes, I do, great. Barbara, who's this great agent? I would love to network with them. I'm always looking to network with other great agents because I just put myself as a great agent. And then you start, well, what areas do they cover? What's their specialty? And you start asking about them. You're going to find out the person knows very, very little. Most people know very, very little about the great agent that they're going to refer them to, and they don't have their name and number, or they don't have their number. And you're like,
Right.
so wait, it's like you met someone at a party, you're going to introduce them to your friend Bob, but you don't have Bob's number? I don't want that to ever happen with us. Can I send you an email that's going to have all my contact information? So if you ever do run into anyone, you can introduce them to us, or you can introduce us. Then from there, once they, if they say, hey, yeah, that person covers this here, great. Let's say you were at a party and they were looking outside of whatever area that they mentioned. Do you know a great agent that you refer them? No, I don't. Great. I want to be that person. There's always a reason to be the secondary backup. And the reason why I want their name and number is because most agents leave the business within the first 2 years of being in the business. If they're experienced, they have a 5 year threshold that they either get burnt out, phase out, or just age out. So I want to get to know them because if I can build them into my network and then as they age out, I can get in there as they burn out or phase it. Like I have another referral partner now that's already in real estate that's looking to get in real estate. Um, and then sometimes when they cover all the areas, they're so great, blah blah blah. Then I'll just say, hey, let me ask you a question. Let's say you introduced them to your cousin, and your cousin called and said, hey, you know what? I really don't like that guy, or I really don't like that girl. He's bald, he's douchey. I don't like him. Who would you introduce them to then? There's always a reason to be a backup person. And it's perfect. And I say this because there was a guy who was my son's um, golf coach. And I introduced myself and I asked that question. Oh, yeah, I have three great agents. They're so awesome, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, great. And I went through the whole things like, and he basically told me, like, hey, you're never going to get a deal from me. 5 years later, constant social media, calling him every once in a while. He wasn't part of my course. I'd call him like every 3 months, 4 months. I invite him to go play golf. He just called me this year and said, hey, you know what? If I was ever introduce someone to somebody, or if I was ever going to do something, you would be the person I'd refer to. And I said, dude, that means so much to me because I know I've come a long way from. He's like, no, you're this and that. And he said, by the way, I want you to come over to my house because we're going to sell and it's like a $2.2 million home, and my
Mm.
neighbor's going to sell too, and we're going to do it together. And we're both going to use you. So it's going to be $4 million worth of transactions. Yes, it was a long game, but I got, 7 kids. I'm going to be here for a long time. So that's
What
that's
what
what
was
I
it?
would.
5 years, you said?
5 years. Yeah,
Wow.
5 years. And I just because I mean, my whole way of doing business, I build relationships, I make partnerships. And if I do that, my whole in my mind, the probability is that I want one introduction every 5 years. Funny enough, it literally took 5 years, and now all of a sudden I'm going to get two introductions from this guy, one to himself and one to his neighbor, but it's going to be $5 million worth of volume, um, which I don't usually do. 800 to 1.2 is my normal things. But that's what I would start bringing that conversation in there. And also, once you start getting in the flow with them, you're calling them once a month or once a quarter, or whatever your thing is. I think the better relationship, you call them every month. The more personal it is, you call them every month because you don't need to bring up real estate. You don't need to bring it up oh, who do you know? Who do you know? They get sick of that. But hey, I'm calling to see, catch up, family, occupation, record, dreams. But I'm also calling to do a market update, or I'm also calling to give you a PSA, or I'm also calling, you're giving some type of value, kind of like title reps do. They come in and they can help you with, well, I'm also dropping off this, or I also have this tool. It's the same type of idea. Um, then I will ask them this question. I'll say, Barbara, I know when we talked a couple months ago, you realized how much referrals mean to me in my business. And I know you don't know anyone right now. I totally get it. When why would you? You're not in real estate. But people generally throughout their year, they meet 4 to 7 people, or they know 4 to 7 people that are going to be buying, selling, investing each year. So in a 5 year period, it's like 28 to 35 opportunities. The question I have for you is, do you think you could just introduce me to one person every 5 years? And they'll laugh because that sounds kind of ridiculous. You can't introduce me to one person every 5 years. Of course you can. I just told you you have 35 opportunities. And they'll say, yes, I could definitely do that. You could if you could commit to introduce me to one person every 5 years, this is what I'll do for you. And I come up with like a program. Like I'll give the person that you're introducing me a special credit. I'll give you a marketing gift. I will, give you core values. I'll invite you to my appreciation events. You're going to be part of my core. You're going to be part of my marketing team. And when they commit to that, dude, it's game over because if you get 100 people to commit to that, you'll do 20 to 30 transactions a year very easily, just with those 100 people, the commitment of 1 to 5. Uh, so that's what I would say. And Amy will do the same thing. Um, as far as prospecting or cultivating, what do you love to do?
I love uh I love networking groups, but I really love volunteering.
Okay. So Amy loves to volunteer. And have you found out a way to volunteer as a form of prospecting?
Yeah, I do I go to my senior center every week for a
Okay.
couple hours with my sewing machine and offer to do free mending for the people there.
Sorry, my
And
son, my son wants to say hi. Say hi.
oh, hi.
Oh, hey,
How
Oh,
are
how
you doing,
cute.
bud?
Oh my gosh.
You want to
he's
say, you
getting
take it? I'm gonna say
big.
hello. Say hi. Can you wave hi?
A wave?
Okay. All right. Sorry, he gets excited when I'm on Zoom. All right. All right. So you have your sewing machine, you're volunteering at senior centers, and like the senior centers, like the city senior center.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
And they always want to pay me, and I say no. You can do two things. You can refer me, or you can donate to the senior center. And then so I've had five, I think, referrals out of that, and they're definitely long game referrals. Like two of them still haven't listed with me yet. But it's going to happen. They take a while to make up their mind. And then I also, tell caregivers, and when I go to my networking, I also tell them, I'm happy to do it for your clients. Just get a hold of me and we'll figure out how. So I'm also kind of not the fastest way to get your work done, but it's free. So
It's free,
anyway,
and I believe it's something that you love to do. When it's something that we love to do, I mean, that's why we're like kind of the point of this little exercise is most agents are like FISBOs and cancels. Like that's one of the number one ways most agents are taught to get business. Lori loves to do it, which is rare because most agents don't love to cold call. They don't love the rejection game. They don't love the overcoming objections, but they still do it because that's what they were told. So I think when you do something that you love to do, it's very easy. It's very easy to go every single week, bring your sewing machine because you love to do it. And that's what you should do. I do like the seniors. I like it because of the oh my gosh, I can't even say the word. The oh my God, I can see it in my mind. I can't say it, but they're destined. They will sell. Like there's not an if or if they're going to do it or if they're going to say no. They're going to sell. the point of when they're going to sell, we don't know. But once they contact you, they're pretty good about, hey, they're going to stick with you and they'll end up selling with you. So I like that part of it, and I wouldn't mind the long game. Um, I always brag about being in 36 different people's trusts because I know for the next 10 to 15 years, I will get transactions when those people pass away. I know they're not coming this year. Most of them are too young to come this year, but I do know over the next 10 to 15 years, they will come. So I like that. Now, outside of volunteering, what do you like to do as far as prospecting and cultivating?
Hmm, that's a good question. I can't think right now.
Okay. When I'm building out my pillars for 2026, I go and go, okay, what do I love to do? So like for me, I love to golf. Like I love to golf. And I figured a way how to meet 1,000 people last year golfing. And I figured out how to get 52 people like in like a 4 hour conversation with them because I take them out play golf, and I play golf every Wednesday. I meet people. So this year I'm just going, okay, I'm double downing on that. I'm going to, sponsor charity tournament. I'm going to put on a tournament. I'm going to golf every Wednesday. I'm going to bring in my core and stuff because I love to do it. And I figured out, okay, this is my way of prospecting that I love to do. What do I like to do? I like to build a relationship, make partnerships. So I don't like to cold call, but I like to call people and say, hey, how's it going? I like having those conversations. I like talking to my friends and family and people I know because, Cory, you're killing it. Oh my gosh, you're doing this. Oh, I love your content. Like it's an ego boost for me. So I enjoy that. I like getting compliments and stuff. So that's what I like to do. Um, and then what I'm good at, like I'm good at public speaking. I'm good at going in front of people and speaking. I'm not good at networking groups. I'm not good at like mingling with people or going and meeting random strangers. I'm not good at that. I'm good if I'm at a booth and people come to me, I can speak and I'm pretty good at it. I'm better if I'm up on top of the stage and I can just go speak to people and then, build up that from there and go from there. So I build my pillars. So I would say is when you guys are building your pillars and maybe you already have it done, I would just really go into that of like, what do I love to do? What do I like to do? And what am I good at? And you can do your pillars in those senses. So again, like I know I can go to a networking group, but I'm better if I actually am intentional about it and I get those people into the flow and the network of it. I'm better if I can take my own people and start my own little group. So we're going to start a little mastermind. I'm going to do a mastermind for agents. I'm going to do a mastermind for senior professionals. Um, so that's what I would really look at, and that's kind of what the main point of today was is like when we're focusing on 2026, there's supposed to be 15% more transactions that happen this year than said last year. I don't think the rates lowering are going to have as big as impact as most people would think because it really comes down to, and we know it's where are the seniors going to go? That's who's holding the inventory hostage right now, but they're doing so rightfully so. Either they have capital gain taxes. Why would they sell if they're just going to pay capital gain taxes? They're going to sell. Where would they personally go in their primary residence? There's only 3% of houses that are, fit for them to age in place. So why would they just go sell one to just go into a different scenario where they're going to have to move again? There's not enough senior living housing and communities available. So they're going to have to figure out that part, in my opinion. And then Trump, I don't care if you like him or not, but the portable mortgage is a brilliant idea because people are captive in their homes because they have such a great rate and they don't want to leave because their payments are going to double. So if they could take their mortgage with their next to their next home, man, that would definitely break it open. But is it going to get approved and is it going to get implemented in time for next year? That would be warp speed because they have a lot to figure out. Um, I think figuring out how to sell or what to do with the vacant homes because there's over 1 million homes. I think it's 3 million, but it's 1 to 3 million vacant homes around the country that are sitting vacant. Well, get those into an option where first-time homebuyers can buy them. I know they're talking about doing something, but I don't know exactly what. We got to get more first-time homebuyers in the mix, and I don't see that happening like that. They're talking about addressing capital gain taxes, which I don't like because that's my niche is I help people sell and not pay capital gain taxes. So if there's no capital gain taxes that are going to be due, that won't really help my business per se. But it'll help all in all. But again, I don't know if it's going to burst it open like people think it's going to. But I do believe over the next 3 to 5 years, people that are in the senior market, their business is going to explode. And so I would just say get super, super hyper visible and loud and brand yourself as much as you possibly can. Every single person you talk to, I specialize helping seniors and their families. I specialize helping seniors and their families with all the transitions of life. Because that is going to be when the market explodes, and I hope it doesn't happen by the masses. It's going to be because people are passing away or they're finally like saying, okay, I can't live in my home anymore. I don't want my real estate anymore. Like the people that have the 500, 100 homes, 30 homes, 20 homes, generally speaking, outside of institutional investors, are the seniors. There's not many 40 and 50-year-olds that have 5 to 10 properties. Um, so that would be my second thing is just whatever you do, whatever you love to do, like to do, you're good at. Lori, even when you're talking to FSBOs and cancels and expires, I would every single time you talk to them, I would literally say, hey, I just want you to know I specialize, helping homes sell that didn't sell before. And I also help seniors and their families downsize, relocate, and transition. So if you ever know someone, maybe a neighbor or a church member, this is what I specialize in. Because I'm telling you, everybody knows these people. No one knows who can help these people. All right, what else we got?
I was wondering, are you ever going to have a class on avoiding capital gains?
So yes, um, sorry, my son's playing with a car and it's driving me.
In like 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm still gonna, yeah. It's just breaking my train of thought. So yes, my plan is that I'm gonna do a webinar every single month. One of those webinars, I believe once a quarter, will be on how to eliminate capital gain taxes when selling your real estate. And I do it for front facing, but I will make sure that you guys all get the invite. And that way I can actually see it of how I present it to clients and potential clients. It's a good feeder for me. It's same thing. It's a long-term thing. Like let's just say I've done 24 speaking events on capital gain taxes. I probably have 30, like realistically 30 in the pipeline that when whatever needs to happen happens, or whenever they come to the terms of like, okay, I'm done, that they'll end up selling their properties. But each one of these people have 3 to 5 to 6. I mean, one has 1,000 properties, but if I get him, that's awesome. But yeah, it's a good thing. The main things is knowing that there is a way to eliminate capital gain taxes or minimize capital gain taxes when selling your primary, your investment properties, or even your businesses. And it comes down to how much are they, like me, and it sounds crazy, but if I had $1 in capital gain taxes, I would find a way to not pay that dollar because I don't believe in giving the government any more my money. But there's some people that one guy paid $100,000 in capital gain. Oh, I just have to pay my fair share. I'm like, you're crazy. Why don't you give it to my family? I have a way where you can give that $100,000 to my family and not pay capital gain taxes on it. Wouldn't you rather do that than give it to the government? He didn't bite, but so yeah, so we will. I'll definitely make sure that you guys are there. The 121C, that's where everyone gets 250 to 500,000. I believe they're going to up that this year. That's one thing that I think Trump is going to do. And it's needed. I mean, it's been this way for the last 20, now even more than that, 30 years. It's been the same 250 to 500,000. So they need to up it because prices have gone up over this 20 to 30 years. It was supposed to be because you get a one-time exemption, but the problem was that someone would buy a home, use their one-time exemption, and they'd be in their home for the next 20, 30 years, and they didn't get it. So they said, okay, every 2 years out of the 5, you get to use this thing. But I mean, people that there, if you're in an area where house prices are 600,000, well, then you don't have this problem with primary residences. But other parts around the country where there are 1 million to 2 million to even more, there's a lot of capital gain taxes due on that part. And then you have your 1031. And what most people don't realize is that you can put a 1031 exchange and a 121C together at one time. So let's say I have a primary residence. I've lived in here for 20 years. I bought it for 200,000. Now it's worth 1 million. I'd have about 300,000, let's just say, in capital gain taxes. So what I could do is I could not sell my house, but I could rent it out for 2 years. Now when I go to sell, I could get my $500,000 121C because I lived in it 2 of the last 5 years. And the other $300,000, I could do a 1031 exchange and go into a different piece of property or into a Delaware statutory trust and not pay anything in capital gain taxes. So there is a way that you can combine the two. Or let's say I want to help my daughter buy a home. I could take that $300,000 and buy a home with it that she can be on title, I can be on title, and now I didn't pay any capital gain taxes, and I helped bless my children when they were alive or when I was alive. So those are like the different. I mean, I know I kind of talk quickly, but those are like some of the normal things that most people will do. There's things like deferred sales trust, charitable remainder trust, Delaware statutory trust, family-owned companies, installment sales trust. There's different things like that, but generally those are for people that have lots of properties or they have like millions of dollars of capital gain taxes and they don't want to go back into real estate. They're like 72, maybe 80 years old. And like, I want nothing to do with active owning real estate anymore. It's just too much. Or they're in like a place like mine where people can literally have a home or rent your home, not pay you for 2 years. You can't get them out. And then you have to pay them $80,000 to leave. And you're like, so that's why a lot of people have their homes vacant. They're just, the laws are too one-sided for it. So, but yes, long answer. I will definitely invite you guys to those and go from there. Any other questions?
Cory, you did one, LFG on setting goals, and you mentioned a book about somebody that you read them every morning, or what was that?
Og Mandino, the greatest salesman in the world.
The
I
greatest.
love that book.
Yeah. It'll change. Like, I really do believe it'll change. If you really do the book the way it's meant, where like each chapter you read it in the morning, lunch, and then right before you go to sleep, and you read it for 30 days, the same chapter, morning, breakfast, lunch, morning, breakfast, or breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then you go to the next chapter and you do the same thing. By the end of the year, you will be a completely different person. It's more of a principle book than it is anything. I mean, there is like, you must persist till succeed. And it's a whole thing about like, you don't ever end the day off with a failure. You make sure that you have a win. And in sales, that's kind of what we have to do. I don't like the number of game in sales, but I think that you still have to do it. You must enter this day with love in your heart. And I really do believe that if you don't care, like people say, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I really believe that's a true thing. So if you enter the day with love in your heart and you use love as a way to attract people and defend yourself, and I think it's good, but it's a great book. And I use that mentality or that principle of reading 3 times a day. I use that with my goals. So I wake up in the morning, I read my goals and my affirmations. At lunchtime, I read my goals and affirmations. At nighttime, before I go to sleep, I read my goals and affirmations. because I believe in the law of attention, the law of attraction, and manifestation. And if I'm constantly telling my world and my brain, and it's almost impossible for it not to come to fruition because that's all I'm thinking about. Um, and in the beginning, like January, I'll read the whole, and my goals are extensive. I'll read everything, the plan of action, the skills, and then it starts seeping into my mind. And then I go, okay, now I can just read just the goal. Hold on a second. I love you guys. Have fun. Be good. Um, so yeah, that would be the book.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
I
yeah,
also
go ahead.
I also like Miracle Morning.
Okay.
Mhm.
I haven't heard
I
that.
like Greatest
What's
Salesman in the World, but I like Miracle Morning.
Yeah, Hal
okay? What's the
Elrod.
premise of that one?
Pardon?
What's the premise of that one?
How to start your morning. And it's called Savers. Um, you sit in silence, you do your affirmations. V is you visualize your day. E is you exercise. R is what's R?
Read.
Read. And S is scribe or journal. And you do all that before 8 o'clock in the morning.
Nice. I like that. I yeah,
And they
I
have
like
it
that.
for real estate.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that because I mean, I think like, I don't believe getting business is the hardest part of real estate. I believe your emotions, your client's emotions, the other agent's emotions, that's probably the hardest part. But the second hardest part is how do you stay productive? How do you stay on track? How do you stay motivated when there's literally no one that says you have to come into work today? There's no one that says, "Hey, did you get your 10 calls done today? Because if you didn't, you're going to be fired tomorrow." Like we don't have that. Um, and so I think that would be a good way to get the morning going off right. Um, yeah, I think all agents, if we had a workout partner or accountability partner, that would be well. Or, like I've heard people go like if they do a good job, they give themselves $10 at the end of the day, put it into a cookie jar, and at the end of the month they can go and, reward themselves with that, $300 or whatnot. Um, so I think doing something, you got to have something to keep yourself accountable. Luckily for me, I have 7 children, so like I never can forget it. Um, I wake up, sing them a morning song, and I'm like, okay, got to feed this family, got to get going. So, but all right, anything else for the first LFG call of the year, and what like just for you guys, what kind of things do you guys want us to bring to the table this year? What can help you the most?
Mhm.
Well, that would be hard to produce. I won't lie. Me
Okay.
being silent is not something I could produce for you guys for the most part.
I'll think of it
Uh,
when we're off.
okay.
I
Well, yeah,
have
just let us.
something. I
Yeah,
have
go ahead.
something.
Yeah.
Um, when you are at the senior networking meetings,
Hmm.
the most effective way to make it purposeful as far as conversation, as far as contribution.
Perfect. I know, 'cause I don't want to steal his thunder, but I know Paul does a really good one because he always bags on networking groups, call them not working
Not
groups.
working.
Yeah, but I believe so. I've implemented a part of his blueprint of when you go to the networking group, you go with the intention of who is it that you're going there to meet. So, for example, like if I have a networking group that coming up next week, and I know that I need Medicaid advisors. So that's who I'm going to look for. So in your elevator pitch that you're allowed to do, most of them allow you like 30 seconds to a minute. You raise your hand and say, okay, hi, I'm Cory Boldroff. I'm a certified real estate planner. Really today, I have a couple clients that are looking for a Medicaid advisor, benefits advisor. And so if any of you guys know anyone that's looking for someone, that's who my clients are looking for right now. Please just come and say hi to me at the end of the meeting. And now they're going to come and attract you. And it's going to be funny is there's going to be other people that are not Medicaid advisors that are also going to come and say, hey, I really want to meet you. Sounds like you're doing great things. I have a great Medicaid advisor for you. And it gives you a reason to then set one-on-one appointments. Because that's like the whole thing I think most people miss about networking groups is it's not about meeting there and having this tribe of people that you're all, hoorahing about. It's you got to get them into the one-on-one space so that you can be intentional about how your partnerships work. So that would be something I would say is just go intentional and inside of your elevator pitch, rather than making it about what it is that you do and who the clients are that you're looking to get referred to, look at it for more of like who are you going to introduce to people and who do you need in your family company's board of directors kind of thing. Um, so that one would be the thing. And then when I do mine, if I, if some of them will allow me a full minute, if that's the case, I will give 30 seconds on something like, hey, I'm a real estate agent. There's lots of us in here. There's lots of us out of the world. What I would suggest is please look up my 5-star reviews because this is the biggest asset that most people have in their lives. It's so important that you actually introduce someone that's very competent, they're good at what they do, and they actually have a lot of great feedback. So please, reach out to me after you read my reviews and let's see if we're a good fit to work together. So instead of saying, I'm this and I'm that, it's just, I want you to go see what other clients have said about me. And then if that sounds like we're a good fit, then reach out to me and let's have the one-on-one and see how we can network. Um, I always would do another one of like, as an agent, I'm here to help you guys, buy, sell, invest. But really, as a business owner, I have 7 of them. I'm really good with marketing, social media, prospecting, talking tracks. So if you guys ever need any help or assistance with building your business, I'm here to help you build your business. So please let me know. So I think again, it's just turning the intention of because everyone's going to get there and talk about themselves and how great they are and who they need but if you switch it up into like, hey, I'm here to help you guys, I'm here looking for this for my clients, I think that's how you would do it. But I know Paul will definitely do it, but we'll definitely have one. I think we're going to change, we're at least talking about it, um kind of like how we're going to do our program. And I think it's going to be like a full month of networking groups. And we're going to talk all about best practices with networking groups or best practice with senior living communities and really make it like pillar by pillar rather than, kind of us all just doing our own blueprints and trying to get people to get as much from it. So, uh, so we can definitely do that. Lori, I'm just curious. I want to hear I'm a FISBO. You call me. I want to hear your pitch.
Okay. Um, this is Lori Mangan with Keller Williams Realty, and I see that you have your house on the market. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
First question I ask, is it still available?
Still is available.
If I brought you a buyer, when's the soonest that you can close and they can move in?
30 days.
And the third question is it negotiable?
No negotiation whatsoever. That's why we didn't sell last time, is I didn't get my price.
Okay, that's great. It is what you are netting that you care about, correct?
It is.
How much money you're going to put in your pocket?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great to me. I totally understand. Then what I'd like to do, and I'll be upfront, I don't have a buyer at this exact moment, but they come up all the time. I work with a lot of buyers. I'd like to just take 15 minutes and preview your home. Would
Okay.
Wednesday at 4 o'clock work or Tuesday at 10:15.
Tuesday at 10:15.
Okay, great. I will see you then. Do you have any questions for me?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Perfect. Good. Um, I'm going to share the one I don't do FISBOs at all. So these I did them in the very beginning. I don't like to do them. But this is the one that I was taught is so ring ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Lori?
It is.
May I ask, are you the owner of 3125 Rockgate?
I am.
And are you the sole owner?
I am.
You are the sole owner. Perfect. If I brought you a net acceptable price that was good for your home, would you accept an offer through my company?
Well, how much do you charge?
So it's like if after all, like let's say I charged 20%, but you were able to get the number that you wanted at the very end of it, would you accept that offer?
I may.
Okay. Can I come over and see your home either Tuesday or Thursday?
Do you have a buyer?
I have lots of buyers we work with, but I don't know because I haven't actually seen your house. I've seen the front door of it. So I'd love to come over, see your features and benefits so I can know which one of my buyers is your ideal buyer.
Fair enough.
So are you available next Tuesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday at 4 or 6 better?
How about 4:30?
All right, perfect. Do you have time? When was the last time someone went over a purchase offer with you?
Well, I've sold houses on my own before,
How long
so
ago
I'm
was
very
it?
familiar with it.
How long ago was that?
The last one was 2 years ago.
Okay, so that the forms have kind of updated a little bit, but not too much. What I'll do is I'll just bring over a copy of the current purchase contract just so you have them and all the disclosures. And if you want, we can go over them. I'll kind of show you the main differences that have changed this year. And that way, if you do get a buyer, you kind of know what to look for. Is that cool?
Yeah,
Perfect. And I'll see you tomorrow or Thursday, whatever time you said. That was the one that I was always taught. Um,
good one.
they basically said don't say your name and don't say your broker's name because one, they might not like your name, but two, they might not like your brokerage either for the last agent was this or an agent came in with this, so you're giving them a reason to get their guards up. Um, and they're probably getting 5, 10, 15 of these calls. So you also got to be like hyper D about of like, this is what I'm here to do. And then switch it with a value prop. And the other one that I've been told is so you go through and you say, if I brought you, so I'm a buyer specialist. And what I want to know is who do you helping you find your next home?
Hmm.
And you totally like reflip the script and do a pattern interrupt of like it's not about selling their home and getting their listing, it's about helping them find their new home. um, because then if they trust you to start looking for their new home, they're gonna more than likely trust you to sell their existing
Hmm.
home. That was he was a guy from not Somalia, he was a guy from I forget what country, but he was a black guy that came in here first generation, and he did like 80 deals his first year, all
Wow.
FISBOs and expireds and canceled. But it was going on that mentality of like, yeah, I'm not calling to list your home, I'm actually calling to see if I can help you find your next home. And he's like, and most of the people would end up listing him, and he'd go and he'd give them everything they needed for listing it, knowing that most FISBOs end up listing with an agent anyways. But
Yeah.
cool. Anything else, guys, before we shut off and go get it? Well, all right then. Well, you guys have a beautiful start of the year. I can tell you agents are sleeping for the first 3 weeks, so the what you do in the next 3 weeks gets you market share more than anything else. So,
Mhm.
Thank you.
all right.
Thank you,
Thank you guys.
Cory. Bye-bye.
Bye.